Welcome everyone. This is Araceli. Here in the channel Build Wealth with Araceli. In my chat with Colette today, we have something very interesting for you. Colette, can you introduce yourself and tell us what we're talking about?
I would love to. Hi, everybody. My name is Colette Rabba. I am a residential real estate broker in the GTA West. I love what I do. Araceli knows that. We love talking about real estate and everything to do with real estate. That's why we do the show. We're also both investors. I don't know if you mentioned that, but anyway, today I have had to fire buyers. So let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Because of certain things that I really don't think they were ready. And I'm sorry if they're, to have to go through that, but I want what's best for them. I want what's best for my clients. And I really want to be honest with them. And if we're all going to waste a lot of time, time is money. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste their time. I don't want them to get frustrated. And that's the major thing with a big project like buying a house. It's huge. It's stressful. It's one of the hardest things. People don't like moving. I don't know why I love moving. I could move like every week if I had to. But that's personality. I'm not the norm. That's why I do what I do, probably, because I'm like, moving, no problem. That's okay. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I like moving too. But
Yeah.
anyway, so today the subject is what is the main reason that buyers don't buy?
Yes. So we're not talking about, I'm sitting at home and I'm watching TV and I don't buy anything. This is active buyers that are interested and they're looking and they need a place to live. And so when you're already starting the process, some people don't know how to start the process. It's that thing when somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to buy a house." And I go, "Okay, well, what's your budget? Where do you want to be?" I have all these questions and they don't have a strategy.
Correct. So the
So,
biggest thing is the strategy has so many little levels, right? So
yeah,
the first one obviously is to decide why you want to buy, right? What is
right.
the reason? Because the reason of it is because you're close to your kid's school, maybe close to work, maybe
Family,
you work
work,
from home. So it doesn't really matter the location, but there is something that you want to be close to. Maybe you want to be close to um, a place that is not that crowded, or maybe you want to be in the middle of the city. Depends on what you need.
right,
So that's what the
exactly.
strategy comes into place. You need to know exactly why you're moving.
Right. So there's a lot of factors with that. And you can call it whatever you want. We call it a strategy. If you want to call it a wish list, if you want to call it a needs versus wants
Yeah.
list, whatever you want, whatever way you figure out how to do that, that is just one of the things that we're going to talk about today. So the one strategy that is first and foremost that you talked about is location. So find out where you have to be within a radius. So you can't say, "Oh, well, I feel like I could be in Montreal or I feel like I could be in Toronto." No, like really explore even within a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I need to be in this neighborhood. I have a school here or I have work or whatever that is to, maybe you want to be close to your family. That will answer a lot of questions. Once you have that answer, then you'll know what's the second thing.
The second thing is obviously what it is. Finances. Remember, everything touches finances. Are you ready? Like, are you buying by yourself? Are you buying with somebody else? How much money are they making? Have they been working? Are they self-employed? What is their credit score? Do you have the down payment? Blah, 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 blah. All of
Right.
this.
So that alone, that the financial strategy, can you afford it? How much have you saved? How much do you need to put down? What are closing costs? What are utilities? What are taxes? Like all these things, you can't just say, "Oh, okay, I feel like I have $1 million," but you're never going to qualify for $1 million. Forget it. Like there's no reason
Exactly.
to even go out and look.
So this
So
is like the finance part is so big that we're
huge.
just gonna leave it at this. Like you gotta really be realistic. Also, you have to understand how is your life going to change by moving to another place? Are you gonna be able to have uh, place for your car if you drive a car. If you are in the middle of Toronto, you may say, you know what, I'm really close to the transportation. I don't need a car anymore, right? Because I don't have a place. I just really don't want to have the expense. Or the opposite, if you're moving away from Toronto and now you are looking at a place that is farther away from where you work or where you go shopping, whatever it is, now you're going to need to have a car. So what are all the other things that are going to get affected by you selecting that location? And of
Right.
course, financially, it's going to mean something. So
Of course, yeah. So that's the other thing that goes back, like financing and location go hand in hand because you might not be able to afford that ritzy area that you'd like to be
yeah,
in. So then you have to adjust and then you say, okay, well, let's go out more and see how far that is, and then, et cetera, et cetera. So the strategy is huge. And if you don't have a strategy, that's when you start talking to realtors. Don't wait till you're ready to go look. We can help you with that. Araceli can help you with the financial side of things, and really just have a conversation about it, because I think I'm very open to that, to say, if it takes you 2 years to save the money, if it takes you more time to think about a strategy and work with someone to work through a strategy, I don't mind that. It's that understanding that you will eventually, and I'll be honest with you, if you can't afford it, even with your salary, even after you've saved for 3 years, then I'll be honest with you. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste I don't want you to be heartbroken. I really don't. And somebody has to be a bad guy here. I'm sorry to say. I don't want to be the bad guy, but if there's a way to say, okay, this is your budget, you can afford this. And if you're still willing to buy, it's a stepping stone. Don't think that your
yeah,
first house is going to be a palace.
yeah,
Nobody does that unless you win the lottery. Like
yeah.
nobody, I've bought 3 houses for myself in my lifetime. Stepping stone. I buy one, fix it up, sell it for more, live in it, go to the next one, fix it up. Like that's just the way I've done
Exactly.
it.
Well, the thing is also that is part of it as well, because you mentioned something. I live in a house and I fix it. I've done it myself, right? But other people are not going to be able to do it, or they might not want to be able to do it, or they're not able to do it. They don't have the skills,
They want
right?
to have the
So
skills or
you
the money.
have to decide as well, if you're buying a fixer-upper that you're going to live in for a while, to do it as you go. Do you have the time and the skills to get it done?
And if the house suits it, there are some
That,
houses that no matter what you do, you can't put lipstick on a pig. Like you just have to be honest. And again, I hate to, say that,
absolutely.
hire a good realtor that knows building structure, that can see beyond.
Yeah.
There's always, like, a house always talks to you. And they all, don't you find that you kind of pretty much, even before I hire an inspector, I pretty much know what's wrong with the house. Like, not to, say anything, always hire an inspector, but when I look at a house, I can pretty much tell you over the next, like, based on the age of the house, based on who's fooled around with the house. Like, there are a lot of handymen that should not be handy at all. They're not handy, right? And you're like, oh my God, I gotta take all this stuff away before I
Yeah.
can even
Oh,
do it the
absolutely.
proper way.
You have to know your limits, but you also need to have somebody to tell you what the expectations are for that particular house.
And how
And
much it's gonna cost.
exactly. And that is a totally different episode. This is just too much
Yeah,
information for that.
right.
The
Yeah. But
last,
it's finances. It's
oh,
still
for sure. Everything
having a
goes,
strategy. Right.
everything touches money, my friend.
That's
So
right.
everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the other thing, the
Yeah.
last thing that I wanted to mention about the strategy is when you have two, three, four people involved in the decision of buying a property. You
Thank
may
you for
want,
saying that.
yeah, you may want to kind of narrow it down on who is going to live and use the property to make decisions. Because if you want to involve your best friend, if you want to involve your mom and dad, your sister, brother, whatever it is, that they just have a opinion that don't do this, don't do that, and now you cannot make a decision, and that will prevent you from buying the property that is the best for you.
And I have a strategy for you. If
All
somebody
right.
wants to stick their nose in it
Yeah.
and say, oh, you should buy this or you should buy that, say, oh, you know what? If you'd like to invest with me, how much do you have? And I will happily listen to your opinions. And then they all run away. So it's like, because that's just a quick story. My dad was, when my husband and I went to go buy our first house, it was a beautiful, cute little brick bungalow, but it had a little bit, just on the roof line, it had a little bit of siding on the top. He said, it's siding, it's garbage, don't buy it. And we're like, it's not really, it's more decorative, but
Yeah.
we're not listening to you. So we bought it anyway. So stuff like that. You can get opinions all you want, but as long as you can manage them and
Exactly.
and say, you know what, I trust the professionals, I trust the builder, or I trust the home inspector. Thank you for your advice, but I'm confident with the professionals I've hired.
Exactly. And as long as it's sound, right? Obviously, don't buy a house that is kind of falling apart, right? Obviously, you have to be safe first.
Yeah.
Sometimes you buy something that doesn't look that good to begin with, but you are already know that you're going to be changing something. That you're going to change the color or the siding or whatever it is that doesn't look as good. But as long as the house is sound, it's in the right location, and you can afford it. To
Okay,
me,
I have one thing to add.
yeah, what's that?
Buyers sometimes don't buy because of fear. They found a house you're never going to find anything perfect. They found a house that suits their main criteria,
Mhm.
and they're still scared to jump because it is a very hard, frightening thing to say,
Of
here's half
course.
$1 million or $1 million. And
Most
to
people collect,
believe,
yeah, for most
yeah,
people, the buying a home is the biggest and largest purchase there is that you're going to be making in your lifetime. So, of course, people get scared.
it
But the
is.
only way to go back to it and stick to your decision is to have a strategy. And all of this strategy is know exactly what you want, make sure that you can afford it, and that if you are going to be buying a fixer upper, that you have the skills and the time to be able to do it.
We all do it that way. There's no secret formula. Like that's really all it is. You buy for you what you need.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. Well,
That's
that's great.
Well, thank you so much, Colette, for being here. And remember, if you are ready to buy, or if you are not, but you're thinking that in the future you will, get it. You should start right now to look at it. Just contact Colette or myself if you have any questions at all. Be happy to help. So let's
Yay.
see you at the next one.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.